Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele and I will be your nerd today. I am also noticing that my camera has got me cockeyed, so we're going to fix that real quick. I was moving around my lights and stuff and everything got all wackadoo. Alright. Hello. Alright, so today is going to be a cool episode. You clicked on the thumbnail, so you know what we are talking about later on, but I do want to bust through the week in Bryan, because it's been a fun week. And then get into the meat of the topic. Alright, so, let's see. Got to play some Waking Realms, my Cat Monk D&D last week. We killed this really scary big monster. I believe one of the other players mentioned that it was from The Witcher. It's from some 5e compilation stuff that our DM has gotten a hold of. So very, very cool. We did not get to play... No, we did. Did we play Strahd last week? Yeah, No, I already mentioned it. I haven't played again since then. I'll get to play Strahd next week. So, if you're wondering why I seem so scatterbrained, it has been a crazy week. You may hear some kind of banging in the microphone. Hopefully my mic is of a high enough quality. Chef's kiss for the Evo. What are you? The Evo Blue? Eco Blue? I don't know. You're awesome. Whatever the case may be, it does a really good job of eliminating a lot of background noise, which there is a lot of right now, because I've mentioned before that my studio is here in my house, and my house is on a highway. A little highway that's through, a little kind of rural highway that goes through a little tiny town, and this year they decided that they're going to widen that highway. The county bought a little bit of our land, which is awesome. But it means for the next handful of months, and I did say that, months, the front of my home, so 20 feet off my front door, is currently a crevasse of them replacing storm drains and ripping up all the last couple days. It's been nothing but, tore up concrete. It's fascinating to watch how they, rip up the curb and, where rebar sits and things like that. So so that's awfully fun. It's been very inspiring for creating, Constructicon Transformers, but, overall, it has been a lot of noise, a lot of beep, beep, beep backing up, a lot of bangs. And as that I'm a house that is filled with 3 cats and 3 large dogs, sometimes those bangs make me very nervous as, oh god, what just fell and got broke in the other room. So over the next couple of months, I'm going to have to kind of get used to the fact that there is going to be construction noise around the house, period, end of story. So if you hear something weird and unforeseen in the background of the microphone, I swear I do not have a stone golem living in my basement. It is construction outside. Let's see. So gaming wise, been played a little Sea of Thieves, as always. But I also have dived in pretty deep, not very far along because I haven't had a whole lot of time for it. We'll get to that in a minute. Is the Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the offshoot spin-off standalone game from Borderlands 3. I guess from the Borderlands franchise. It went live a couple of weeks ago, and I really only started diving into it last week. If you are a role player, it is... I've said before that the Tiny Tina's DLC for Borderlands 3, where she runs her game of Bunkers and Badasses, is easily the best written DLC for any game that I've ever purchased, video game-wise. This game so far follows suit. It is fantastic. You get a fabulous mix of kind of gamers at the table feel. Some of that, when something goes wrong at the table and the DM has to just sort of go, oh yeah, this happens. It's so good. There's a part of the game that you run around on a map. So kind of like when you're playing in a role-playing game and you go from an adventure section or a dungeon or a city, and you go, okay, well, let's go to the overland map to decide where you're going to go. That happens in Wonderlands, and it's awesome because you actually are moving around a little super deformed kind of miniature of your character on the map, and it matches, like, because the character creation on this is amazing. You can change scars, tattoos, eye shape, eye shadow, piercings. It runs the gamut. It is super super detailed, and the little miniature that they create for the Overlands map is a super deformed version of your character, like down to the coloration. It's very very well done. But while you're running around on the map, you'll notice a few things. The river is a spilled soda. There is a barrier that you run into that is a cheesy doodle, is a cheese poof. That has fallen onto the map, and they even make reference to it, like one of the other people, because you're also, even though you are the only character being running around in the game, there are other players at the table, other narrative players, and one of them even says, ah man, you dropped a cheese puff on the table, and Tina takes that and goes, or did I? And it turns into basically a plot point that it's a fallen barrier that you have to get through. It, again, it's gorgeous, it's wonderful. Gameplay is not that far from Borderlands, from the Borderlands franchise. So if you're used to Borderlands, the controls are basically the same and you do a lot of the same stuff. So if for some of the people out there that may have been tired of, like, if you were like, just, oh man, you've got fatigue, Borderlands fatigue. I don't know whether or not this will be different enough for you to get rejuvenated like I have, but I definitely have. I love it. I super enjoy the game. It's having a great time. I'm having a great time with it. So it's been basically that, and the occasional D&D run that I've got. I want to be playing some more stuff. I really really do, but right now I have been focusing on work. And I know everyone's like, oh, you got to take a break for yourself. My video games have been my break lately, my de-stressing break, because it is deadline time. It's deadline crunch time on the book that I'm working on right now, and very shortly, like within the next week, that has to get done. I've got bills to pay, but also because I need to start up a very cool Power Rangers adventure that I'm going to be working on. And immediately thereafter, I've got so much cool stuff in the works. I can't share it, obviously, because of NDAs and licensing and things. But I had a very, very cool meeting with other Essence 20 people and the head of the company, with Scott Gata himself, last night, discussing some future stuff. And like I said, I can't talk about it, but I am very, very happy with where things are going, the direction things are going, and on top of that, just the subject matter that we're hitting. I'm super happy. And if you are somebody out here who does watch it, is into role playing, and you've gotten into either the Power Rangers game or now the G.I. Joe game, or you're chomping at the bit for Transformers or My Little Pony, just know that Renegade has got some very, very cool plans in the works, and that barring something really dumb happening, I am going to be there for the foreseeable future as part of this Essence 20 project. I'm super psyched. I'm very, very happy, both personally and professionally. I'm in a good place, despite the fact that, if you look, and I hate to even mention this, so I'm going to bring you in on a little secret. A lot of times when I'm filming, I wear makeup to cover the fact that I am 44 years old with rosacea. And I get, effectively what kind of constitutes as like rashes and little mini breakouts. and I had a really bad one earlier this week. Stress always hits me, and I'm getting over it, but I can't. When I am healing after a bad rosacea bloom, I can't put the stage makeup on, because it will just basically halt that progress. It'll halt the healing, and in the next couple of days, it'll just get worse. So please ignore the fact that I am a little splotchy. I'm a little red. I've got some speckles that are showing through. I'm human. Mostly. All right, so yeah, but so as it's deadline time, so I'm stressed out and all that. Even with all of that stress and things piling up, I'm very happy where I'm at. Renegade is treating me very, very well. Res Nova is treating me very, very well with the Warzone project, Warzone Eternal, and more on that soon. I have a very cool meeting. Actually, by the time this comes out, that meeting will probably already have happened. That meeting is going to be very cool, and I should have some pretty awesome news to share with you guys soon on the Warzone front. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to get your guys' hopes up and then not be able to deliver the information. So either way, between Renegade and Warzone, I am a very happy game designer and developer. Life is good. Personally, weight loss has plateaued yet again. I'm sitting right under 60 pounds and just kind of staying there. Some of that I know is I am stress eating a little bit. My snacks are still healthy snacks. They're still low carb styled snacks. But if you are still eating a lot of them, it's still a lot of food to process. So I know I'm stress eating, and I know that I just don't have the time to work out to try and kind of help boost some of this metabolism. But the good news is I'm not backsliding. I'm not falling out of the diet plan. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. I'm maintaining, staying right at that same level. I'm just not making any forward progression. But we'll see. Again, as things move on, as things move forward, and I get through more projects, and frankly, money becomes a little less tight. Screw you, broken headlight. I had to fix a headlight on my car, and unlike most cars, I can't just take it to AutoZone and just get a new bulb slapped in. My particular vehicle, you've got to take like half the front end off to get to the stupid headlights. So it ends up being like a $200 ordeal. Not that you guys need to know that. I'm just complaining about the fact that I like my car, but that's a dumb design choice. Chevy. But yeah, so everything seems to be going very well across the board. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm happy. I'm in a good place. I've got I've got cool stuff going on in every direction, and I've got news to drop in the future. So we'll see where that goes from here on out. Again, we're starting to get into convention season. We are. I've done GaryCon. I stopped in at Adepticon. I think the next big one, aside from the role-playing cruise that will be part honeymoon, part work trip for me. Mostly honeymoon and having fun, but it's with a bunch of my work friends, so I'm excited. Aside from that, I think the next show that I have, like the next actual convention, might be Origins. But that really kind of depends on whether or not a company needs me there. Because it is an expense. Doing shows is an expense. And unless I can get a company to help defer some of that cost, it literally is just taking money away from my bills to go do these things. And because I'm not hurting to drum up business, between Renegade and Warzone, I'm doing pretty good as far as like, steady work goes. I don't need, a lot of times I used to have to go to these shows to try and get people to hire me for things, basically to schmooze, kiss babies, shake hands, that kind of thing. You'll meet people face to faces and that sort of thing at these shows. That was one of the primary reasons for it. With the way I'm currently booked up, I've actually had to turn down a couple of small side projects because of the amount of work that Renegade and Resnova have me supplied with. So, spending $1,000+ to go travel to a show that isn't going to end up recuperating that money because of work, because of work gained while I'm there, because I don't need it, isn't always a great idea. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love going to conventions, and I love interacting with people, and I love running games for people. I love panels. Oh, I love panels so much. I've never met a microphone I don't love. But I have to be realistic, and unless one of my employers is taking care of that, sometimes my convention going needs to be extremely limited. And if that's the case, my next big show is going to be Gen Con in August, which I know that's still several months away. I might try to pop up to Phoenix Con in Wisconsin in July, but I don't know. That one kind of falls on whether or not I have a family wedding very shortly thereafter that might cost a little to get out to, but I kind of would like to. Again, I don't know why I'm ranting. I'm going on. Let's get to the dang episode. What do you think? Let's get to the real thing. So a little background before I jump into what this topic is. So some very good friends of mine that I've known for a very long time. Some of my oldest friends that I had made since I moved down to the current part of Indiana that I'm in. I used to LARP with them. I gamed with them. You'll hear some of that in the interview. But Jason Piercy and Jason Ward, plus a third member of their entourage, became they came up with this idea for a role-playing game based on a popular musical album that they all loved. And we'll hear about it during the We'll hear about it during the interview, but basically, this idea just kind of popped in their head, and they ran with it. And they've got currently, when this video comes out, they'll have a Kickstarter going. I'm actually going to pull up the Kickstarter numbers after the interview to see where they're at. I'm definitely going to put the link in the description for this video, so if you guys are into it, you will go and back their play, even if it's just for $1. But they came up with this really cool idea and created a product and put it up on Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter is currently succeeding very well. It's doing very, very well. And I was able, back before I went to GaryCon, before I went and did a bunch of shows, I was able to meet up with Jason and Jason online, of course, because in this industry everybody's a face in a box. But we did get a chance to sit down and talk for a little bit about their process and their project, and I really, really wanted to share that with you guys. Not only because they're friends of mine and I want their project to excel and go do even more. But also because I wanted them, I wanted to know more about the project. I have been tangentially aware of it since the very beginning. Jason Piercy reached out to me very, very early on in the process to kind of ask about how this, what my thoughts were, and read things over, read kind of the splash sheet and everything. And I've been on board since the very beginning. I think it's great. And I I'm very, very happy for them, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and go back in time around 11 days and listen to what Jason and Jason had to say. Hello, everybody. For everybody watching this, you just saw me a couple of minutes ago or a couple of seconds ago saying that we're going to do this. However, we recorded this 2 weeks before because I had to bounce out to GaryCon, and these two cats are super busy with their amazing Kickstarter that is kicking all kinds of ass right now. And by the time you watch this, and by the time we get this out, it's probably going to be even better. One would hope. And if it isn't, then it's your guys' responsibilities as fans of good gaming to help them with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So a little bit of background before I let these cats talk. I have known these two gentlemen, Jason Piercy, wave, and Jason Ward. I've known these guys for literally decades at this point. We met each other when I moved down. Well, technically I met Jason Piercy when I was still in high school, but I didn't actually become like friends with them until later on into the college years, where we met doing the aforementioned vampire LARP thing that I've talked to before, and I've made amends in many places. So I've known these guys a long time, and it has always been, my personal pleasure to be, friends with people that have different views and different backgrounds, and to see that over time, we've all had different, our lives, marriages, kids, the whole nine yards, that we've come so far, but yet now, we're all in this game industry thing together. We never gave up gaming, and gaming now is not giving up on us. Why don't you guys take a second to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves before we get into that cool thing that we were going to talk about?
Go ahead, man.
That's good. Oh, me? All right.
Yeah.
Well, first, I have to say kudos to the Bryan Steele for being the first of us, all of us Purdue alum or townies or whatever all of us were at the time. Some of us were dropouts. Yeah, there's a whole collage of
politely asked to stop attending is what I go with.
Perfect. Yeah, so Bryan Steele being the first of those of that crew to make it into the gaming verse, and he's doing quite well for himself. So congrats, Bryan.
Well, definitely.
Yeah. Jason Ward here. I am coming to you from my spare bedroom in Indianapolis, Indiana, just down the street from Bryan. I am one of the two co-creators of The Real Thing, which we're going to be talking about here shortly, along with my friend over here to my right, Jason, my right on screen. We're in different locations. And we're co-writers, co-creators. We've got a third partner that we'll talk about here in a little while. We've been friends for, as Bryan said, many, many years. Jason Piercy and I go back even farther, back to middle school. So it's been a minute. About me, nothing important to say. I work in tech. I've been in the creative space for a number of years. I was once a probation officer, so I've got a lot of horror stories from that. So that sounds like a topic for another conversation, though.
Perfect for The Real Thing, though.
Yeah, it didn't hurt. You're up, Jason.
All right, so I'm Piercy, guys. Nice to meet you all, and I thank you for watching. And again, Bryan, thanks so much for having us on, man. It's awesome to have finally sort of joined you in this weird endeavor.
I'm super psyched for you guys on multiple levels, but I'm also personally, I won't lie, it's nice to reconnect with you guys. We've traded a bunch of emails and stuff ever since this project was like beginning, and I'm very proud of you guys. Like, I'm not being like I'm the old guy dad in the room, but like this is having seen when you originally sent me the email with this is what we're doing, and I was like, this is a really rad idea, but that's really as far as my brain went. Like I didn't go the further steps than you guys did. So seeing it come together, it's awesome.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I totally cut you off. Let's talk about you.
No, you're good. It's totally fine. It's a conversation. It's how it goes. Who am I? That's a question I've been trying to answer my whole life. But outside of that, I'm the co-writer, the other co-creator. I'll just call myself co-writer because Ward is awesome. Also, yeah, whatever, man. You shake your head. You're badass. Um, I'm a musician. I do digital heritage. I create film. I'm just an all-around artist. And although I don't do illustration at all, I suck at drawing. And I'm kind of like, in a weird way, what is it called? The networker. It's like, do you know a person who knows? I'm like, yes, I do. Let's see if we can reach out to this person.
You're the guy who knows a guy.
Yeah, I am. I am that guy.
He's the fixer.
Yeah.
There you go. Which leads us to your guys' third party member, because you had said that you weren't so great at the sketching the stickmans. So this the third gentleman is
James Masingo is his name, and he
not
is
another
a killer.
Jason. Damn it!
No, but we're three J's. So
you are
like,
three
that
J's.
works,
You are a triple J.
Yeah.
James has been a friend of mine for quite a while. I also met him through LARPing in Chicago when I lived there, and when he lived there also. When I was touring with the band, and he was an illustrator up there for, I think he was working for Midway. I think, don't quote me on that. And he'll probably come back and be like, Piercy, you're totally wrong. I was working for these guys, but I know he knew some of the friends there that worked there as well. And he's been in the gaming industry for quite a long time, working on projects like 7th Sea. He was AD for Shadowrun for a while. So he's like, he's got some chops, and those are things I didn't know. When I hit him, I just knew he was an illustrator. I was like, hey, man, I know you do art. Would you be interested? He's like, this sounds cool. Sure, man, I'll do it for a friend. And I'm like, yeah, what else have you done? I know you've done stuff, but like, because I'm not like the nosy friend who's like, what's all the things you're doing? Tell me all your stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know you said you've done stuff, man. You'd be interested? And then he's like, well, I've done X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And I go, oh. Awesome.
So you don't automatically Google everyone you meet?
No, yeah, no, I don't do that.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's just me. That's my thing. So when you said that James was attached to Shadowrun at some point, I actually sent a message to Jason, Jason, that's the guy who's in charge of Shadowrun, and was like, "So, have you seen what one of your former employees has been up to?" And Jason apparently has been not only aware, but like talking it up amongst his crowd. So
that's
nice.
Oh, that's so awesome. Tell him to. Never mind. Jason, if you're listening, please post something to the internet so people will come see and back our Kickstarter more.
We're bad at the internet. If we're bad at the internet, so if you can help us, please do.
I will. You know what? I will make sure. I'll tag him when I put this video out and be like, Jason, I'm going to Shadowrun shame you into things that are said offline, man. It always comes back out. All right. So we've talked about the people involved. Now, is there anyone else involved besides the three of you, or is it really just kind of the trio, like from the ground up? One of you is doing layout, one of you is doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing all of the actual manual work for this. The three of us are.
Dude, that's awesome.
We've got some friends that have been doing help with promotion, and we hired someone to do some video work for us. But other than that,
editing.
It's been and
like
that was a present from someone.
That's
I'll
true,
edit your book for you. So,
but that's cool.
Yeah, so we've got some friends that are helping us out for sure. But
that's awesome.
97% of the work's been through the three of us.
I will say that there is another major partner in this whole ordeal, and that is Faith No More.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, for the people who may or may not know exactly why that is important, let's talk about the project itself. So the Real Thing RPG is a musically inclined, like musically inspired role-playing game that's based off of the Faith No More musical library.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You got it. You need a job in marketing?
I've had one. It didn't stick.
No,
wasn't a big fan.
Just like Purdue.
No. So, where did this come from? Like one day, did you guys like wake up one day and like listen to one of these songs and was like, this sounds like the plot to an episode or something along those lines? Like, where did this come from?
I mean, real close. Just replace woke up one day and say was doing dishes one day, and you pretty much got the, yeah. I was in the middle of doing dishes, listening to the Real Thing album, and it was probably my 700th playthrough of the album in my life, and
It's so good.
yeah, so good. And I picked up the phone, dropped my gloves, picked up the phone, and said, "Jason, I got a bad idea." And we've told this story about 100 times at this point, but I've got a bad idea. Talk me out of it, and he didn't. And here we are.
Here you are.
Making a game based on Faith No More's. I'm gonna say, gosh, is it their best album? They're also good. It's their first best album.
I would definitely call it one of their blockbuster moments.
Yeah.
It's the only album they have a top 40 hit off of. Not that
really?
that matters, but it literally is like the only time they hit top 40.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's okay. They're all awesome.
They are awesome. Yeah,
I love them. So I know things about these guys.
So how much connection to the band did you have to make? I mean, obviously you needed permissions and things. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming. I'm hoping. If not, I'm calling you out right now. As my channel has been extremely anti-IP piracy since the very beginning, you're busted. This is the gaming equivalent to Catch a Predator.
No, they've been. So we kind of got to a point when it was after James was on board, and we started getting everything a little more tightened up. We had a story that we didn't like before. We threw it out and got a new one. Like I said, he came on, did a little art, kind of did some discussions. And we were in a meeting, like, well, why don't we just try to reach out to him? Because our plan was to be like, based on whatever, right? So we're not ripping him off. We weren't going to try to use any music. It was like kind of based on this idea. And we would have changed some things to be less directly Faith No More. But we said, well, let's on a lark, let's just see what they say. And so through a series of emails and calls, we got a hold of their manager, Tim Moss, who has been a completely awesome dude to work with.
That's fantastic.
He's had great insight and just has been he's been pretty killer to chat with and talk about the project with, and he's been excited about it. And they said yes in the end. Those guys are musicians, right? And they aren't role players, and totally fine. We wouldn't expect anybody that good at being musicians to be anything but musicians. And yeah, they just, once they realized exactly what we were doing and kind of, understood that no one's trying to take them for a ride.
Yeah.
They said, yeah. And it just kind of snowballed from there. It's been like a dream. I'll be honest with you, like this, like a dream, literally.
See, that's fantastic. When you started talking about this, it was before the Dead Milkmen came out with theirs, the Bish and Chimera.
I didn't know that was a thing. Hook me up.
Where are you? There you are.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Huh. Okay.
That's super cool.
It was put out by it was written by Andrew Irwin, but it was they have their logo, their stuff all over it. It came out with dice that had the Dead Milkman logo on it and everything. So when you had said that, my first thought was getting a hold of those guys. Not as a publisher, obviously you guys are doing a great job at that, but I meant as far as like that'll touch on the same fan base.
Yeah.
So what I need to do, because one of the gentlemen involved with the publishing process of that is, I won't say a friend, but definitely an acquaintance. Cool. So this video, when this happens, I will be sending that over to him as well, to hopefully maybe get someone, because if you give me one moment to pull up something on the interwebs, open, not prepared. I should have had this already open, guys. No, so I want to pull up their Kickstarter, because we can see how many backers, and if I can get them to even put just a note in the hey, music fans, that kind of thing, we might be able to drum up some. Oh, yep, bitchin' Chimera.
Is everyone aware that we're recording while he's doing this? I mean, I'm just wondering, is this just compelling drama for the audience?
Oh, well, so I hope so. I hope they're like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, they had for their campaign, the Lost Tomb of the Bitchin' Chimera, the Dead Milkman RPG adventure, got $52,000 raised.
Okay.
You guys are well on your way. I just checked you just rounded 30 at the time of recording. Hopefully by the time this comes out is well past that. And they had 1,300 backers.
Oh dang. Okay.
Right on. Heck
So
yeah,
if
great.
I can get them to say something nice, or hey, go check this out. If you like this algorithm-y type things, I would like to be able to do that.
Yeah, and we're happy to, if they've got a product people can buy, we definitely will rep that on our thing too. Send people to go purchase it.
And from what I understand, I think I don't know if this is the last of this kind of thing that they're doing. I think they might be venturing further, because those guys are crazy anyway. So, but that's when you had said what you were doing, and then that popped up afterwards. My first thought was, it's like a new frontier in role playing, like musically inspired RPG modules, or in this case, yours is not just a module. Like yours is like the system itself is inspired by the music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that's partially true. We are using Powered by the Apocalypse, which is a pre-existing system.
Very popular system. Very popular.
Yeah, very popular system, and very easy, and I like it a lot for short to medium term games. So yeah, we definitely took that system and tweaked it to our liking, and the bakers who created that system gave us their blessing and said, yeah, use the logo, we like where you're going with this. And so we've tweaked it, we've made it our own, but it's definitely based on the core of what they created, which is a fantastic system.
You know what, that's fantastic. And not to mention, it also means that even if someone wasn't necessarily why wouldn't they be a Faith No More fan? But if they weren't, they could at least, if they went to a convention, because eventually this is going to get being played at conventions and such. I would suspect Gen Con being, your guys' show in the backyard, that you'll be able to start running events of this, as long as you have somebody that knows Powered by the Apocalypse, they could fit into this game pretty quick.
Absolutely. Yeah, as a storyteller, all you need is some familiarity with any of the Powered by the Apocalypse games. And then as a player, you don't even need that. You just need to know how dice work.
Yeah, and like know some really basic things that are on every character sheet already. So,
which is a big help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say if you were to say, I'm gonna give you both an opportunity. What is your favorite? Both of you get one favorite thing out of this project that you want to try and tell potential players or backers or later on purchasers.
One thing.
What one thing that we really like about the process or the game?
No, the game. This is the
game.
If I walked into, if I knew nothing, if I didn't know you guys and I didn't know, I'm just the average everyday gamer. I'm Johnny Gamer on the street, and I walked into the elevator with you, and you have one copy left, and you go, you want this, and this is why.
I got mine. If you're a GM, you're gonna GM the game. You never have to roll any dice, ever. You just choose the outcomes based upon what the players give you, and let the players go with agency through the scenario, however it goes. Weave them together. Never pick up a die. You always have something to kind of give you an inkling of what should happen, but base it solely upon what happens at the table.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm glad you didn't steal mine though. My favorite is the discovery mechanism, which there's a big argument on Twitter just today what a mechanic or a mechanism is and what word you should use, but I'm going with mechanism because mechanics fix cars.
That seems like a weird fight to get into.
Yeah. You see what you fall into when you get on Twitter for more than 5 minutes? Yeah, so my favorite thing is the discovery mechanism, which is it is the one thing that really is what we added to Powered by the Apocalypse, the major thing I would say, and it is how you craft your character while playing. Dungeon World uses experience, much like a Dungeons and Dragons game, and the other Powered by the Apocalypse systems use other things to advance, like Urban Shadows, I think, uses social interactions, and you get enough of them, you advance through those. We chose that through your experiences in the game, you mark discoveries on your sheet. When you get enough of them, you advance because you remember what you're capable of
That's
through the
cool.
course of the game. Yeah, so you are at once crafting your history while advancing toward the future, toward the character that you want to be, which is a lot of fun.
I dig that a lot. That's like a a more elegant way of, I want to say, forcing a player to create a character instead of the numbers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that. One of my least favorite things about a game is when I ask somebody what they're playing and their answer is, "I'm the tanky fighter."
Like, okay,
Great.
that's good.
And
Right. Yeah.
I have a big sword. That's cool.
Yeah.
What color is your
You already-
character? Are you a lefty or a righty? What? That's some basic stuff you know when you're a toddler. Come on.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, I'm really, really happy that it's doing so well. It actually just popped up by a couple numbers while I'm sitting here watching it.
Oh, great.
Not like, thousands, but at least, enough for me to notice that the number is different.
We like saying spend $1,000 or $10.
Yeah.
Don't let Bryan Steele denigrate those $10 backers.
No, dear God, no. I love the $1 backers. No, jeez. Oh my God. No, I love the $1 backers, the ones that get in there.
Absolutely.
Because it's not nearly as helpful as someone being like, yeah, here's the $500 to get you to your goal or whatever. But the fact that they're there, they're talking about it, they can share it to their socials, they can get onto the comment section, they can listen to you guys talking in the comment section about why things are cool. And if I've learned anything in this industry, is if you can get people excited about it, even if it is obviously not the case in your guys' case, but even if it is a product that is a run-of-the-mill product that is like anything else, if you can get someone excited about it, that's all that matters. If they take it home and they have a good time. We've had long conversations at various conventions with several companies worth of volunteer staff, that when they're like, well, what if I forget about something during the demo, is like, then smile and move on. The last thing you want to do is start freaking out and make people think, oh, the system is, no, is everyone at the table having a good time? When they get up and leave, is everyone smiling and laughing about that thing that happened? Then you've succeeded in your demo. You don't have to be, does not have to be 100% right. It has to be 100% fun. And the $1 backers in Kickstarter are those people that I want to reach out to, that I want people to just, I'm not going to get charged my dollar, but if you're there and you're participating, you're helping the people who are already all in, or something along those lines, remind themselves that they're doing the right thing by backing this project.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm right now, being 100% honest, I'm seeing a backer as a backer, because it's really, at this point, since we've funded, about getting as many people at whatever level to back it as possible and share it with their friends, so that we can have more people playing it in the end. And that's really where we want to be now. Now that we know that we're producing it and we've got a successful Kickstarter, right? Let's look at this as, now it's a numbers game instead of dollars to cover our production costs. It's a numbers game in terms of how many people can we get to actually play this thing. And so bring your $1 backers, your $10 backers, whatever you want to bring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy stuff. And life is hard enough as it is. Let's have some fun stuff to enjoy.
100%.
Yeah.
What do you guys see for the future? Or is there a future right now of like new aspects, new projects, new bands, perhaps?
Yeah, we kind of in the onset we discussed, like, well, let's see if it does well enough. Maybe we'll do the next album or something like that. And though we still need to talk with Faith and More and Tim to make sure that that's something they want to go forward with. I think at this point, we see that there is not only is there a market there, but we've gotten so many cool comments from people who are like, this is something I never knew I needed. It's like, oh, this is such a great idea. Oh man, we like this guy's, like we got something, like we hit the head on something, and that people like and want. So yeah, we'll do more of it. We'll do another album, and we'll keep going until either people hate it or they're like clambering down our door for more.
Or until there's no more interesting stories to tell.
Yeah, true.
There are always more interesting stories to tell.
That's true.
I agree
yeah.
with that.
Right now, our back of the napkin plan is hit at least the next 2 albums, which would be Angel Dust and King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. In part because they still hit that early 90s feel.
Yeah.
Real Thing was released in 89, and then King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime was 94. So there's a 5-year span there that was very informative and to who I am as a person,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of people our age, right? And so we definitely want to stay in that realm, embrace that feeling. That, you know, the game takes place in the early 90s, which is, you know, definitely a callback for me and for a lot of people that have backed it, being like, oh yeah, I remember the 90s. Well, actually, I don't really remember the 90s, but I think I liked it, you know. And so yeah, we're gonna keep trying to hit that that market, that feeling, that, I don't know, whatever it is, that genre of, you know, of the setting.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I'm super psyched for you guys, and I'm going to be interested to see what the numbers are at when this comes out.
Yeah.
So are we.
Because because I want to be able to do the addendum. I'm not good enough at video editing yet to be like, you know, have the bad, you know, adhesive medical strips over the you know, when I say you guys just rounded 40, you know, like something along those lines. I'll have to have it as an addendum afterwards to be like, you know, I said 30, but what I meant was $7 million.
You know what? We're pretty darn happy with 30 right now. I'd love to get our backer number up to 1,000. That just feels like a good benchmark.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, it's again, it's one of those things. Let's just get it out there, get people playing it. Even bigger than that, let's get people out there supporting the band.
That was a huge sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Jay. Like once they were actually on board, that was a huge thing for us. We're like, nah, the music industry has had some issues lately. They've been hit a lot by what's been going on, and like anything we can do to raise awareness and get people over in their camp also, that's important to us.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, definitely go buy their merch on their store, fnm.com, and also their latest album, Sol Invictus. They have all the rights to that one, so buy the crap out of that one.
Yes.
I like the fact that they have all the rights to that one.
Yep, that's right.
They do.
I picked up the vinyl for $16.99 the other day.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so inexpensive for vinyl, and ordered it online. I got myself a cool GIMP t-shirt at the same time, and it was well worth my dollars.
Fantastic.
I've had that vinyl for a minute. It's good.
It's real good.
I've also got it on CD, MP3.
Because you're the one guy on the planet still collecting CDs.
Yes, I am.
I have a few. I keep them for my car.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly why. That's what they're useful for.
People, you know, I know that they have MP3 players for cars and stuff, but
MP3s sound like poop.
Often.
Anyway, waves are better. They're better. They're much better and higher quality. Form of listening.
Leave that to the musician to tell us the way it is. Awesome. Well, I will not keep you guys any further. Is there anything else that you want to related, unrelated? You know, a lot of my show is, you know, stream of consciousness type stuff. I tangent worse than anybody. Is there anything that you want to tell my my meager but growing number of subscribers that's about anything, just off the top of your heads as a part of a closer?
Sure. Yeah. One of the big pieces of feedback we've been getting, you know, through the first 5 or 6 days of this Kickstarter is that we're not telling people enough about the actual story itself. And I just want to say that's intentional. We've got a sandbox of a game, but it's also got a story built into it based on the themes from the album. We don't want to give too much of that away. It's sort of mystery, intrigue. It feels a little neo-noir, feels a little Usual Suspects, feels a little Memento. You know, it's kind of what you want to make of it, but we've put those elements in there, which were great movies from the 90s that we really, really loved. And said, what's a sandbox people can play in to kind of get that same feel. So you're going to feel some grit. It's going to be a little dark and grimy. It's not fantasy. It is definitely taking place in the 90s. It is real world with a little bit of twist to it. I'm
fighting the urge to say it's it.
What is it?
What is it?
See? What about you, Piercy? What you got?
I'll say this. The game, you know, we've written it from our perspective of the times, right? And the game isn't just about our perspective, though. anybody can take this and put their own twist and put their own thoughts into it, and put their own memory, or even if you didn't live through those times, you can do what you want with it. We try to make it so that it's accessible and inclusive. And that's important to us as well. We try to make us, the players have agency, and the storyteller, narrator, GM, whatever you want to call them, is relying upon input from the characters. Everyone at the table is telling the story at the same time. And that's really important to us, that everyone gets to guide where it goes and what happens. And we're going to guarantee you have fun with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your version of this game does not have a set GM DM nomenclature. There's not like the DJ.
I think we call it narrator.
Narrator.
Though there's a DJ in the scenario, but that's not the narrator. We call it narrator, but like whatever you want to call it.
All right, fair enough. As long as you don't call it the patented copywritten terms.
Correct.
Exactly.
Just go with MC. It's the MC.
The MC.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Master of Ceremonies. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, this has been great. We need to talk more, just on a personal level, beyond all of this, gaming interview stuff. We need to get together and have a pint, talk about just
Yes.
old times and things. But for all the viewers out there, I'll be cutting back over to me in the now time, the future. I'm gonna 1.21 gigawatts or something to get us back to the real time to finish out the video. What's up?
You got a TARDIS there somewhere?
I don't have a TARDIS. Sadly, no TARDIS for me. I am a fan, but I have no TARDIS. I am exactly the same. Now? I am exactly the same size on the outside that I am on the in. Which is a gross thought now that I think about that. All right. So, either way, I wish James could have been a part of this, but he's busy doing graphic-y things that artists do. But I'm super glad. Thank you guys for coming on and telling everybody about the Real Thing RPG. Currently at Kickstarter. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video. I will obviously be Facebooking and all that stuff too. But make sure again, be one of those 1,000 initial backers. Get that. Throw them $1 and listen to what they have to say. If what you hear here, you're here. If what you have heard here is even remotely interesting to you, I know I got a lot of role players on my subscriptions. Give them a look-see. Take a look at it. This is a new and interesting, cool thing, and I think that you should check it out. So, thanks. From the meager studios of the Professional Nerd to my dear friends, the Jasons. Is there a name for your guys' studio? Do you have what the production company? What is it called?
It is the first release for Accidental Cyclops Games.
Accidental Cyclops Games. That tells such a great story in just its name.
Yep. I
am unbelievably proud of that name. I love it.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
That's so good.
There's a story you might remember behind it. We can talk about that later.
Okay, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. All right. Well, you know what? We don't have to wrap up if it's a quick story, or is it not a story for public consumption?
Oh, it's.
Tell us about how the Accidental Cyclops came to be. I am actually interested.
Okay, so there are two sides to that coin. The first is obviously it's all fun and games until somebody shoots their eye out, right? That's the Accidental Cyclops that everyone is familiar with. On a more personal note, back at Purdue, the year would have been 2001, maybe 2000. I think it was 2000 actually. I woke up one day and couldn't see out of one of my eyes. And it turns out that I have a rare bloodborne illness. I think it's a fungus, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's a bacteria. I don't remember, but it's called toxoplasmosis.
I do know that one.
Yeah, everyone's heard of toxoplasmosis at some point in time. Everyone thinks you get it from cat poop. which is true. It's just not the most common place to get it. The most common place to get it is from undercooked beef. And so chances are I ate an undercooked piece of beef at some point in time. I got this thing in my blood and it never goes away. It always just lives in there. And in my case, I was lucky. It attacked my eye. Actually, it's in both eyes now, but severely in one of them. And it just makes me almost entirely blind. Like when I'm looking at the screen with just that one eye, it's just real blurry and grayed out. So I am the accidental Cyclops.
Now, is it still that way now?
Yeah, it gets worse every so often. You can't kill it. It lives in your bloodstream and it flares back up and attacks your retina or your macula. Yeah. It turns into scar tissue, which is why everything is gray and blurry for me.
Oh wow.
The worst version attacks your brain. So I got lucky in this case. And I want to say there was some recent research out on toxoplasmosis. Something like 30 to 40% of people have it. It's just there's 3 tiers. There's the brain, the eye, and the one that a lot of people have. And there's a lot of research out now that says a lot of anger issues are caused by people or are common in people who have toxoplasmosis tier 3.
Like the bottom level.
Yeah, the bottom one. There's some like serious rage issues related to that. So it's a real thing that a lot of people don't know about. I have kind of the medium version, which is 1 in a million sort of thing. The brain one is like 1 in 100 million sort of thing. There's like
wow.
So yeah.
Well, there you go. See, and who said you don't learn something when you watch a show about gamers and nerds?
Science.
Science? Mm-hmm. You were literally blinded by science.
I was literally blinded by science. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We won't tell you what our roommate at the time, Doug Jones, used to call it. It is not safe for.
That's the Patreon version.
It's not. Yeah, but we did write a song about it. A band we had together. It was like, this sucks, man. We're gonna write a song about you because we love you.
Aw. I haven't thought about Doug Jones. And no, for the people who know, it is not the other Doug Jones from Indianapolis that everybody knows. Is a different Doug Jones.
He was a badass guitar player.
He was a badass guitar player instead of a badass body actor. God, yeah. Do you still talk to Doug?
Yeah. I was actually just talking with Nick and Doug both earlier, late last week about the project, and like we keep in touch.
That's awesome.
I moved to Chicago with them so many years ago. We like did music up there and toured with a different band for like 10 years or something like that, and lived with the two of them. We just lived in this awesome place in Chicago. But yeah, I still talk to them. They're doing all right. Doug's actually playing a show April 8th that I'm going to try to go to.
Awesome.
And I'm just now hearing about this?
It's on Facebook. That's probably why they still
I don't with the Facebooks.
I know. I've only been on there because of this, and then I'm like, people still do things on here. Okay, that's cool.
I do a lot of stuff on there, sadly.
Yeah. It's a good platform for a lot of things. It's just overwhelming for me.
Gotcha. All right. Well, this time we will actually finish. This time we will say this is the end of this particular interview, but definitely not of products from Accidental Cyclops. So we're showing a shiny. What do we got?
Faith No More.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Please give these guys a follow. Go check them out. Go to Kickstarter. Throw them a buck. And even if you throw a buck, just to be able to go on the comment section and give them hell. And if you do, make sure that it comes from us. Let them know that the professional nerd sent you. So that way we know that, the web of Jason Piercy and the guy who knows a guy will stretch far and wide.
That'd be great.
But
I always like to know more people.
It's been absolutely awesome. I don't know what else to say aside from we'll just get more updates on this later.
Absolutely.
Groovy.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
It's been great, man. Thank you very much.
So, how cool was that? My hair's all crazy. God, I'm so proud of those guys. So while while you guys are watching that interview, I pulled up the current Kickstarter. So as of right now, as of today, there are 8 days left in the Kickstarter. So it's a full week. By the time this comes out, it'll be almost exactly a week left. And they are at $36,000, $36,255 of their goal. So they've blasted past all their stretch goals and things that are currently lined up. I'm so happy. I am so happy for them. I would love they're a few hundred backers away from 1,000 backers, which Jason Ward said that would be like kind of he would love to see that be like the golden moment. So here's what I say. Please, even if it is just $1, even if it's just $1, pop over, follow that link that's in the that's in the description of the video, and just throw them a buck. Throw them a buck. Get on that backer list. Tell them I sent you, and let them know that we support small publishing. We support game designers that are they're breaking out into the world. And I mean, hell, I know some of you have retail stores. Send them a message. Find out if there's a retail package. See if you can get get ahead of the game. No pun intended. About getting this product in your store at a larger level. Whatever the case may be, I'm asking is that please give them a shout. Let them know that we care. Let them know that you listen to this video. And that you understand, that you know what it's like to have that dream to create something cool, or maybe you're just a gamer and you want to play something rad based off of a Faith No More album. Whatever the case may be, I'm super glad that you stopped and listened to that you came to visit us today, just long enough to listen to what the Jasons had to say. Like I said, I'm super proud of them. I've known them for years and years and years, decades at this point. He made the comment that, I was the first in the group to break into the industry, as a professional or whatever. But I welcome them with absolutely open arms as the professional nerd, as a game designer. I am over the moon about the fact that these guys that I've known for so long, that I've gamed with for so long, have found their way into the industry with such a cool and unique product. I'm like I said, I can't stop telling them how cool it is, and I'm a backer. I backed the game. Despite the fact that I could probably elbow them and be like, "Give me a free copy. I want to talk about it." I wanted to be a backer. I wanted to be part of the process. And I really hope that you guys will too. So thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know how it goes. Definitely share this video because we want to put as many eyes on this Kickstarter as possible. And then obviously, if you can if you're a subscriber and you comment into the into the section, you get to be part of the, what is it, April? The April comment raffle, which I give away cool free stuff every month. So you want to be part of that. You do, whether or not you know that. And others want to be part of it too. So give them the opportunity. Let them know to share and subscribe, and like and comment and such, to be part of this madness that is our world. But in the meantime, please be safe. Get vaccinated. Get your shots. We do it for our dogs. We should do it for our people. Wear a mask if you are in a situation where you feel you need to, and have fun and play some games. We'll see you next week.